We are live.
Nyght ride on the track.
What's up? What's up? What's up? How you guys are doing? How you doing? We just wanted to give y'all a little time to get up in here. We're excited to have you. What's up, ATL Leo? Go ahead and put this out there, share it out, get everybody in here to talk about this because it's a week delayed, but it's never too late to talk about some certain things we're gonna get into today. As we're twinning today again. You know, with the white and the dreads and things like that, a little twist.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to be twinning it up every single episode, so don't be surprised on what we're going to have on. So let's go ahead and just first say hey to the audience. We see ATL. Leah, once again, hey, ladies. We got Pam. What's going on, Pam? If you in the chat, go ahead and just give us a hello. I know it takes a minute for everybody to realize that
we're on.
Champagne Confessions is on, you know. For those that are here, we appreciate you. Click that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And we're going to get right into it. So,
let's go. Hey, Miss Pam. What's up,
Miss Pam? In case you guys, of course, you know, if you're under a rock and you don't know who we are Champagne Confessions. As you can see, we have our champagne because, you know, it's going to get a little interesting.
Just a little stuff to talk about.
We got some stuff to talk about. Hey, Miss Maggie and Kai. Hey, Miss Lady. Look, we want some of the ladies on with us when y'all get a chance. The StreamYard is in the chat.
Go grab the ladies, Pam. Miss Pam.
Yes. I would love to have them on. So, let's go ahead. We got to get into a little bit of first starting off, just a little bit of my mental space motivation. We start the time off with that because, you know, no matter what your day was, everything else, you know, you always got to start it off with a little my mental space motivations. And as you know, it's building a community of hope and togetherness. Community health and togetherness. So let's go ahead and get into this quote. And let me move well, you can see it right there. You want to get that, Kai? That you so gracefully picked it out.
Why not? All right, people, let's read along, okay? Because we're going to take these words in, take this segment in as to just, you know, grasp some good affirmations. So just take it all in, take a deep breath, and let's go, okay? So when life gives you 100 reasons to break down and cry. And we all know what that's like.
Mm-hmm.
Show life that you have a million reasons, okay? A million reasons to smile and laugh. Stay strong, y'all. We can do this.
Mm.
Okay?
And I like that, Kai, because shoot, I want to say last week was a challenge for me.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting there in the dark and just had nothing, you just had nothing but your thoughts and everything. It was like, I can imagine somebody that's locked up for a long time and they don't have no access to the outside world and things like that. I had nothing but my thoughts and, things. So I was sitting there analyzing everything. I pretty much got in my feelings about some things.
Mm-hmm.
Memory started coming back. It's just been, it's been a rough couple of months starting into the new year. It seems like, I lost someone. We actually celebrating her life this Sunday, actually. She took her, we don't know what it was, but they found her somewhere in a party, and we think that it was possibly an overdose. And I think I mentioned that on the last episode. So, but from what I know is she was sad. She was, was reaching out to people to speak out. But drugs was her, coping, and yeah. So I just think that along with her being, I guess, ill, the combination of that together is like, there are reasons to break down and cry. But you have to keep pushing. You have to keep moving. A lot of times we're like looking for people to support us, and I wish somebody was there for me. But a lot of times, even if you don't have that person, seek help. Talk to unbiased people. They don't have to know that you're going to get guidance, and you don't put yourself into a mental facility to get some type of one-on-one treatment. You're not alone out there. There's so many people that's going through so many things right now with this finances. Mental health is at an all-time high since COVID. There's not a lot of social engagements anymore. So it's like, it's a lot of awkward socialness and fitting in, and I gotta look like this Instagram model, and I gotta, it's a lot of false
makeup and
yeah,
you know what I mean?
So
yep.
Like ATL Leah said, true. I was about to go to jail last week for about attempted murder in front of everyone on Mark. So, and I talked to him that day. Well, a little later on. Sometimes we do let the best of our emotions get to us. I know mine can be a little bit extreme at times itself. So, but I've learned that I have PTSD from trauma. Some people say I might be a little bipolar, not diagnosed, but there's a couple of people that don't mention that, pointing it out, because I'll have I'm here, then I'm here. And I'm, for that very moment. Then I'm right back to, hey, how's it going? I'm back to normal. So what you think about that, Kai? I know I'm rambling a little bit, but.
No, you just giving your thoughts and your experience, that hits home, and it hits home for a lot of us. Now, going back to last week, real quick, ATL Leo, I need to call you and talk to you, because I just saw, it's been a little rough. I need to call you because I saw where you was trying to reach out to me too, and I don't like that when I miss. So I'm sorry about that, honey.
And I think when he called me, I might have been laying down. Too. So I did reach back to him. Okay. And just remember, guys, look, this is what we are. We are my mental space coaches. And if you ever just feel the need that you need to reach out and speak to us and everything like that, we're open. Just give us ample notice, because of course we're just, we got everything in the world going on. So if you can find us in the Discord, I think the Discord is on the link in the chat. I mean, not in the chat, but on the description. Find us in the Discord. Join it. Message us privately, and let us set up a time to speak to you. There are some things that we'll talk about later on, but controlling your emotions is
It's a big thing. Oh, I was gonna say, going back to last week real quick, right before the show, I had a very serious moment. Like I felt like my cry, and it was like a cry for help. I was just breaking down. Like I just didn't like the way I was feeling in the inside. But like she's, like that quote said, we have a million other reasons. And I'm gonna tell you that night, I mean, I left it at that. Went on with the show because Maggie was like, we don't have to do the show if you. And I'm like, no. I need to get this together right now, Maggie. I need to be able to process this now and get through it because I need to be over this. And that's when I cried. And I'm glad I cried like that and got it out, because you were like, you weren't looking shocked, but you was kind of looking like, I guess I don't think I need to say anything right now.
Just let you have your moment.
Because what can you say? And I just needed to be done with that. But yeah, it's y'all, you gotta lean on your support system. We gotta get out of that. We don't want anybody to know it's I get it. We all get that. But let's try to practice, we've been hiding for so long and so many years, and that's what we're accustomed to. Let's kind of break that a little bit, and you know what I mean? Just reach out when you need that support, you need that help, because you're not allowing yourself to get better in that moment. You're not allowing yourself to be free. You're keeping it in. You know what I mean? So let's try it. Let's get, we need that help. Let's ask for that help. Let's stop being ashamed. We have to talk about it more so that we can all become comfortable with it. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. You're right. Because me and Kai is one in the same. That we do hold a lot in. To the point where it's like, she's crying me. I'm crying to her. Oh my God, the day was just, or I get distant or she gets distant, and but one thing I do like, anybody listen to Jill Scott's podcast. What she said she did, it's a panel of women. What's up, J-Rob? It's a panel of women. What they do right before it is like an emotional mental health session right before their airing of their, they record. Yeah,
right.
They meditate. They talk about their feelings that day, and they hug or embrace and just kind of get through it. So I think that's what we were having last week. It was just like Kai just needed a moment to get through it, and that's what we and her promise to ourselves. It's like we gotta, even if we don't talk all the time, we got to communicate at least. We got, let's get the show together, but we also need time to kind of like just get it out there. Like, this is what happened to me today. Let me get this out because it's overwhelming. It's so much right now. So we check each other on our mental health, because, she'll know when I'm not doing well. I know when she's like, you okay, Kai? We can
feel it. Yeah, you can feel it. It's like, hey, what you all right? You need to talk. I know we ain't talk in a couple of days, but obviously our time to check in with one another. So, and that's what we promise to each other. Like, we're never like, after that crap she pulled the year before, and I pulled some stuff a little late last year.
Yeah,
we kind of had our little. We weren't fighting, but it was kind of like, I'm not freaking about to hold back how I'm feeling right now. You made me feel this type of way. You made me feel this type of way. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Don't okay.
And it was this miscommunication, us just going through shit at the same time. By the way, I have something to celebrate, and I'm officially, I don't close my chapter. I am officially divorced as of February 7th, but they put the stamp and sent the notification to me on the 13th, right before Valentine's Day. That was a lot of my emotion. That was a lot of my things that I was going through. It was real because it's like, you feel like you're with somebody for so long. You want it to work. we tried that thing out, and it just wasn't meant to be. So, but just prolonging it was it was like, okay, I filed for this back when my birthday last year.
Yep.
Here it is just now where it's finalized. So it was just a waiting period for me. So I'm happy to close that chapter. It said I didn't know Jill Scott had. Yes. Let me find it. I don't think she has any new episodes right now because she had been going on tour. But I think it's, what is it called? I'm gonna tell you in a minute. But listen to it. It's very inspirational. It's African American women, and it's always a good positive message afterwards. And they get deep, like how we would do.
Mm-hmm.
They get really deep and talk about real life, issues, mothers, growing up a single parent, just their upbringing and everything else. Thank you, J Rock. Thank you, J Rock. So,
well, do you want to take a sip on that since he said congratulations?
Thank you. Let's just go ahead.
Take a sip on that?
Yes. Thank you.
Congratulations, Maggie. Whatever.
You got it? I'm trying to find. Let me see. Jill Scott. I can tell you the name of it right now.
Mike said he'll send it to her. So
okay. I just don't want it is Jill oh, she don't changed it. JILL the podcast. It used to be something else. But it's Jill Scott presents JILL the podcast. She don't change the name up.
Okay.
Yeah. So look it up. It's a great show. So enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into our
where we always
have. We're right here in Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't get enough. We always choose the shortest month of the year to celebrate us, but it's just so much going on in this month. Valentine's, everything else, it's overshadowed.
Mm-hmm.
So we just kind of want to bring awareness, bring some key points here. So
got it.
Yes, ma'am, I got it.
Yes, y'all. Black History Year, not Black History Month. Forget that month.
Okay.
Forget
it.
Yeah,
baby.
Shoot.
Many wins. Go ahead and let me get the article. And you want to read that? Let me go ahead and get this article real quick.
Okay. All right, guys. So as you see, look, did you know? Because I didn't. Now, did you know that Oscar, how do you pronounce that, y'all? Michael?
Mikey Ox, maybe? Mike Ox? I don't know.
Okay, y'all.
I don't know. Don't look. We sorry.
Yeah. However y'all want to pronounce it. Him was the first major African American filmmaker to produce a feature length film called The Homesteader in 1919. Okay. So we're trying to get out things that a lot of us may not know, different people. We all know about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and these other very well-known leaders. So we're just trying to shine some light on people that we may not be familiar with.
Yeah, not the ones that may not be, the main ones they pick to choose and talk about in your history books, in classrooms and things like that. So we just want to bring, attention to some late greats that also, pioneered a lot of the entertainment industry, which is kind of fitting to our conversations today. But he was an American author, film director, and independent producer of more than 44 films. Although the short-lived Lincoln Motion Picture Company was the first movie company owned and controlled by Black filmmakers, Oscar is regarded as the first major African-American feature filmmaker, a prominent producer of race films, and has been described as the most successful African-American filmmaker of the first half of the 20th century. He produced both silent films and sound films. Let's see here. Let's see some of his films he kind of produced here. The Homesteader, he's done Baptiste sacrificed love to a key symbol for his fellow African Americans. So it's just everything was around the revolution. You know, how white women were portrayed in that time, and it was just, you know, how they were overhyped. You know, the Hollywood was all white, you know, so he's like, he wanted to showcase African Americans in a different light, you know, that they don't get a lot of shine unless they're, you know, painting their face a certain color. They got their lips, you know, pink, and they looking like a certain thing on camera. So he wanted to, you know, just put them into a light of Black excellence. Positive. Yeah. So, you know, shout out to him. If anybody want to look up his story, look at some of his films. I think that's a, you know, a definitely, it's people don't realize there's so many things that's been invented, created, by us that gets overshadowed and things like that. Even still, like the Oscars.
Right.
You know, it's still the first ever, the first this, the first that. We're still up against that right now. And it seems like a lot of the times we get nominated is when it's slave movies or, you know,
portrayed ghetto or just in a negative light. We're always portrayed to look like that, like we cause problems, and that's all we're about. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of that. I'm tired of seeing.
So we got a special guest in the house. It's perfect timing for our next one. So once we finish with this topic, let's, you know, we'll go into the next part of our juiciness. So, and this is right on time for this guest in the hour is coming up soon. Yeah, I'll probably know her face soon. But so
and I have the article.
You got the article? Okay.
I got it pulled up. But you lead us in it.
We're gonna definitely go ahead and, you know what? So, like, definitely everybody, it's Black History Month is not over. So make sure you just, you know, highlight some things, share some things, go to some of these parades and things that's going on. Don't let the month go by and you haven't did any type of dedication or, you know, fun fact or anything like anybody in business. Please just dedicate something towards Black history this month. Even though we're saying Black history is every month, all year,
every month, all year long.
You know. So, all right, ma'am. So with you know, I hope you got your, you know, your juice, you know, your stuff coming, because it's gonna bring her on. Then we're gonna get into our next topic. I can't wait. Hey, lady.
Hello, ladies. I am so sorry I'm late. Had a little one to get ready. He's
I know.
Still up
you had to get him together.
He up under me right now, so.
Look, that's okay. I just had to, you know, make mine go lay down, and I get it. So if we hear him in the background, honey, that's just he just in here on the conversation.
Dale been talking all night. Dale,
you don't hurt my son talking all night.
But I got my drink. But I look like a chicken head right now, so y'all gonna catch me on video like next week.
That's all right. Look. Shoot, we just because me and Kai, we got that, you know, touch and go now. So it's like we ain't even got to worry about that. No,
I mean, but I can't even touch this. Y'all know I got a short haircut, so I can't
know.
Grab, nothing.
Whatever.
Exactly. All right, so let's go ahead and get into.
Do you need to take a sip first, or do I?
Yes, I think we need to take a sip because
I'm right with you.
Are you ready?
This is a two-part to this situation.
Yeah. We finna go in on this topic. Now, if you're in the chat, I need y'all to put get real in this chat. What you feel, because we're gonna ask you that question. You know, we got a question to ask you once we reveal the hot topic.
For years, we're just getting y'all prepared.
Okay, you ready to take that sip on it?
Yeah.
All right. So, the hot topic of the day. Let's go ahead and put up a picture.
Put it up. Hurry up. Put it up.
Just to give you a feel of what this conversation is about.
Ooh.
Well, so I know last week.
This ain't even the juicy part.
Yeah. Last week, things happened. I had no power on the day of airtime, people. So I was in here in the dark. And I was like, I'm gonna go on, but then again, of course, I ain't had no battery. I was like, nah, I don't want my stuff, and Kai be up here stuck, wondering what going on. And I can't tell it. My phone dead, yeah.
Right.
But this is the hot topic, people. And I'm gonna ask a question, and then we'll get into, what we feel and everything else. So I want to see your comments, and then of course, you can definitely chime in on this one.
I'm ready.
Usher, however you want to pronounce it. Usher, Super Bowl 2024 halftime show brings the house down as he, millions and millions of people tuned in to that performance. Yet, the fans are outraged about the My Boo performance featuring Alicia Keys. So, my question is to the chat. Go ahead and put it in there. Do you think, let's put up the other picture. Do you think their performance, was inappropriate? Do you think that Usher is once again in trouble for touching another man's wife? Why is there such outrage about this whole little? It wasn't like he was licking on the neck or anything like that. It was just. And I'm gonna put up something else just to kind of counterpart this part, because it's like, let's just go back into history. But go ahead, put in the chat, people.
Yep.
How do you feel? Are you mad and upset about Alicia Keys and Usher hugging on stage, and he grabbing a little bit of her hip, and now I'm gonna let y'all get that chat in, but let's just kind of look at this picture right here. Where is it? Oh gosh, I didn't have that one on there anymore. But there's a picture that I thought we had in our pictures things, but it's when they basically had the My Boo video shoot.
Mm-hmm. Same thing though.
It was basically that was on stage. They were in each other's face, they're, pretending to be lovey-dovey, they're hugging and swooning and things like that. So what is the difference than a Super Bowl performance?
Thank you.
That they had already did in the video. So let's see. I said, I don't know about y'all, but I know about us, and it's the only way we know how.
Not the lyrics.
So, Whit, since you are here today, were you upset about Usher? Let me get into that picture I found as well. But let us know how you felt about that performance. Were you so upset, that he was messing up a happy home, or what was your thoughts on it, Miss Lady?
I think of it like this. If
you're there, I know you probably got your little man in the background. So
yeah.
If you're not able to talk, just chime in when you can. We understand.
Can you hear me?
So
can you hear me now?
Since I can't hear Kai,
Maggie,
Kai,
can you hear me?
How do you feel
I can hear you, Maggie.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm right here.
Something going on with you. Hold on.
I can hear you now. My bad.
Oh, you can? Okay.
I don't know what happened. So was Whit talking? Because I don't know why my volume went down.
I was talking.
She was
talking.
Snap.
Let me come in and come out. Y'all go ahead and get that going. Let me come in and come out.
Mr. UHHER.
Okay, go ahead. With.
But yeah, I'm not mad at him. If Swiss Beats ain't mad at him, and that's the husband, why the hell is anybody else mad at him? They are performers.
Because they don't exactly. They're performers and they're artists. That's acting. He didn't. I didn't see him like drooling all over her and being all. It was just they were laughing and smiling like afterwards, like hugging, like, "Hey, we did that." Excited for you, my brother, my sister, whatever.
Exactly.
They're performers. They're artists.
What's wrong? It's like people try to find something to nitpick at with every Super Bowl performance and what's going on, but I think a lot of people made more emphasis on it because of the situation that happened with Keke Palmer.
Good point.
And I'm just like, the whole situation is that if the man don't complain, we all know if you've ever been to Usher's concerts, If you have,
Yep.
I know some people went to the residency in Las Vegas.
Me.
He
I've
put on
seen
a
it.
show. He liked to make his ladies feel sensual and different things like that. That's how he enthralls his audience. I'm not surprised him and Alicia Keys did that. But if she didn't complain, if she smiled on her face, she didn't look awkward or anything else like that, people just need to shut the fuck up and move on.
Absolutely. And I apologize, y'all. I don't know if I've missed some key points and I couldn't hear for some reason. You know, it's a story is fake outrage. Absolutely.
It's just the whole
like it was one chat I had shared where this dude was just like, Usher's always breaking up a happy home. Like,
when? What happy home?
I was like, then Kiki already let it know she wasn't happy. It was staying for the baby, the whole situation. I said, if a dance or a song is enough to break up your happy home, baby, you wasn't happy to begin with.
Your foundation was there in the first place.
And it was. If y'all noticed, when they broke up, all this stuff came out. They talked about abuse and all this stuff that was going on. So leave Usher name out of this mess. I ain't gonna put up with y'all trying to drag him through some stuff now. Y'all hear Usher?
Kiki and that pappy wasn't happy.
From the beginning.
I see what's happening. Mike and them be doing these chat stuff and it's messing up my sound, y'all. So I apologize for you for that. But
you good.
I'm gonna come in and out again.
But it's just like people like to start shit where shit ain't necessary. I gotta get used to not cussing on this platform. But but they try to make
this is crazy.
Out of a
Lord have mercy.
So it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, they just try to just take something and girl, they just want something to talk about. But I want Maggie to hurry up and get back in here because we have a part 2, guys.
Oh yeah. So I'm sorry. It's just whenever they do that video chat thing, it messes up my stuff. I'm good now. I'm good. So let's just kind of get to some of the comments here.
I doing that. I want her to come in so we can get to this part 2. You good?
You don't see me?
She here.
Yeah. You good?
I see her.
Yeah, she see me.
I see you now.
I've been talking. Okay, yours might be delayed too.
Okay.
It says yours might be delayed. I try to be aware of here you go. Mike said, I try to be aware of the way I touch any woman. However, it's Hollywood. The man is an entertainer and being a ladies' man is a part of his character. It's not that deep. And you got to look at it like this. These are actresses and actors as well. It's like they have to perform. They have to put on a show. They have to sell it. So if she's over here, and he's way over there with distance in between them, like, well, they don't, then of course you get the narrative. They don't like each other. Oh, something must be with sweat speaks. And if husband is not outraged, what are y'all over there acting a fool about? A lot worse. We had the BC Boys come to Columbus a long time ago, did concerts, performed sex acts in front of teenagers, concerts goers. They went home complaining to parents, so y'all selective outrage to something that wasn't even, I see she had her, her cheeks hanging out. She over here bent over and showing the world and she
grinded on her. He grinded on her.
She still, of course, she can't help her curves and her hips and things like that. She looked hella good. Both of them. She can't help. She's a beautiful woman, natural. I still felt it was very respectful.
I did too. I didn't see nothing wrong with it.
She didn't overexpose herself. Her bodysuit wasn't. It still covered her up. So I felt that just people are just outraged for no reason. If you think your girl gonna just up and leave you for Usher in the middle of the night, you need to be in a padded cell somewhere. Instead,
Usher got married on Valentine's Day. Yeah, married.
No, it was before Valentine's Day.
It was.
But this is the part 2.
Oh no, they got married on Superbowl. I don't know why I keep thinking that.
This is the part 2. Matter of fact, I think I had a little conversation with Mike maybe a week or so about this too. Mike, I think I mentioned something about this. Part 2 to this.
Okay, let's get into it because speaking of, Mr. Man got married on Valentine's Day, and
no, it was before that. It was
before. Yeah, it was the Super Bowl. Yeah. It was the Super Bowl a little bit after that. So
yeah.
So we're gonna put these pictures up because there was a certain person that
Usher
decided, you know, she wants to post up on his day of the Super Bowl. Her, you know, of course, I don't, you know, she probably did want to show love to her boo thing, but it was just so ironically, everybody, she waited for the right moment to post her post, you know, and me and Kai have been kind of talking about this communication because there's a little article out there that actually came right after. Was it after he got married?
It was right after he got married, and I got it right here, folks. Now, we're gonna try to get past this as quick as possible because these two right here on the screen, and Maggie, you can kind of flip through the pictures if you want to. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anyone in the chat is really familiar with their history, but baby, when I tell you these two,
are
they got a hell of a
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
If y'all not familiar with their history, you better start digging up, honey, because it's about almost close to 20 years of history these people got. So here's some tea, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna let me get into this article, and this was Usher. Now, Usher did a whole full little thing with people, an interview about this. He brought this up. Okay. Let me go into this article real quick. I'm just going to start here so we know Chili is a few years older than him, only like 7 years. That ain't nothing. It says right here, and I'm reading this is from People magazine.
Mm-hmm.
I was always charming the older ladies, he says. I got past all. I'm getting straight to it. So it was when he met Chili, who was 7 years his senior in 2001. If I am to be honest, I was her number one fan, and she was my superstar, he says, nodding to the lyrics of Superstar on Confessions, his blockbuster 2004 album. That was on heavy rotation amid the aftermath of their highly publicized relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Now, listen. At the age of 8, this is him talking. At the age of 8, I put her poster on my wall and said, man, that girl is so beautiful. One day I'm going to meet her. So she was probably about maybe 15 at the time. She was young. Her little career was getting started, but Usher was like falling right behind her. Mm-hmm. And he said, one day I'm gonna meet her. But and it says, I was a young man and she had very specific rules that didn't work for me. He said, we were missing each other. Now, when he says we were missing each other, if y'all don't know, last summer she came out and did an interview talking about him and how they broke up. They dated from 2001 to 2004, and they were like how they explained it. And y'all can see in the pictures how they are with each other. They were like so in love. He did not cheat on her. Guys. That was about Jermaine Dupri. That was not about them. And so when they broke up, she came and finally told last year now that she had just cut him off in 2019. They had been fooling around, kind of keeping things on the down low, kind of whatever, and seeing each other, because they couldn't let each other go. Okay? They couldn't let it. Now, that's them saying this now, not me. Now, y'all keep in mind why all of a sudden this stuff want to come out now. Okay?
Yeah.
Now,
because he got married.
He said, and he the one talking about it. And if y'all listen to his songs, and y'all just go listen, y'all tell me what y'all think, and y'all see for yourself. He said, I really did want to have a different type of relationship where she was there with me, and she couldn't be. She didn't believe that I was actually in love with her as much as I was. Even so, he says, I wanted to marry her. I proposed and she told me no. I went through a great deal of pain after that, not trusting women or wanting to open up, he admits. He said, I hurt her too, but the situation broke my heart.
Yeah.
Now,
so it's kind of looks at, you got to look at the pattern right after that.
Yep.
What was going on with Usher right after that? Like sometimes it do be that one love that just, it sets the tone for the rest of your relationships after that. So it's like he might have not been healed during those times. I can say now though, the Usher that we are seeing to this day, I think maybe him just coming out with that story, he's able to talk about it now. Yeah. Maybe he's healing. He's finally found somebody that he can love and truly care about, and he's getting married. So maybe it was just his open dialogue. Like, yeah, I went through some things, and shoot, Chili was the main reason. She was the one I wanted to marry, but
yeah,
we got to look at it like it's just a matter of their age difference might have played a factor. You know, Kielyn has had an older child. And she probably had a lot more high expectations in that relationship. So it was just, it wasn't the right time. Yeah. But it makes you wonder if Usher had, you know, they worked out. Do you think they would have been that power couple? You know,
I think timing.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening then. He was too young. Now it's not like the age, it matters. Then when you look at, okay, he was 14, 15, and she was 21, it's kind of like, and then her career was already, and he's this attractive young guy, and he's coming out all these, like he said, he wanted her there. He wanted to go through his growing up and everything, but still, he was like, he wanted her. He did not want to let that girl go. And I'm gonna be honest, he ain't over her, and she's not over him.
What you got on that, Wit?
I actually have a different perspective, because I mean, looking at the whole TLC story and seeing how enthralled and how in love she was with Dallas Austin, that might have shook her core and what he put her through. And she can't reciprocate what Usher doing, and him being younger, him being a superstar, him having these women.
You could be right. She couldn't accept
Dallas was a producer, so it's just like, if the producer were doing all this shit, what about the artist? And I'm seeing all this stuff like that. And Chili, even seeing her in the reality TV show she done, Chili is hard fucking work. She a vegan and all this. She got to do all this shit like that. Like, she is cuckoo a little bit. So I mean, not to say that she's crazy, but I mean, that's a lot for anybody to take in. I just think that it's a twin flame situation where it's that connection, that love. Is like, you see each other, it's that lust, that sex, and everything else like that, but it's just not meant to be, and it's just not.
Yeah, and and it's something me and Kyle were talking about. She openly admitted that she's, extremely emotional.
Yeah.
And it could have been steered from her previous relationship and everything like that. So she doesn't know how to accept someone actually loving her. So it's like she's blocking it. It's like, you can't love me right now. All men are like this, especially in the industry. I don't believe you. But then at the same time, it's always three sides to a story. It's her story, his story, and the truth. So we don't know what went on behind closed doors for her to say, no, I just can't. It could have been things that he presented. It might have been where she just felt, like you said, not emotionally ready for this. So it could be anything at this point. She probably has some trust issues because of her previous relationship with Dallas, like you did mention that. So
yeah,
I
definitely
agree to that. I agree to that.
And she said it. She said that,
Mhm.
y'all, because they asked her on the interview. They was like, "So no chance getting back with Usher, da da da." And she's like, "I ain't say that. I ain't say that." And he said, "Oh, you looking at your watch?" He said, "Timing." She said, "Yeah, timing. I'm just looking at my watch. You know, it's kind of like timing." She said she had a lot of baggage going into it too, because he was getting ready to adopt their son, her and Dallas' son. If y'all back in the day, he was always with that boy. He was at the graduations. He was there. He was there. He was there. He was there. His mom would babysit, like if he wanted to take her on a special date or something like that. And it was just, and when they used to do interviews, even now, obviously, I ain't read all that. It's like they always have to take a deep breath.
Yeah.
When
reminiscing about that back in the daytime.
Yeah.
But Miss Fry. So we're gonna go ahead and put our last minute thoughts on this topic because we got some stuff to talk about. This one about Chili and Usher. Because we got some key points that, like, the purpose of this episode is what we want to kind of highlight in a moment, because we're going in, so last minute thoughts on this one, then we're gonna go ahead and get into the next one, because it's getting real out there. It's definitely getting real out there, especially with social media. So what you got the last minute thoughts on this Usher and just outrage? He got a tour coming out.
Which we trying to go to the concert.
Yeah, we're trying to go to the concert.
Watch him perform, guys.
I know. We're trying to go. So I think he's just having his greatest moments at the right time right about now.
He is. And me, with all of this going on, it's, you just wait and see how things play out. That's all you can do. Just wait and see. The truth will tell. You know how they say what happens in the dark, it comes out to light. This is the year. Things get exposed. Things come up. A lot of people reconciliating. All this stuff coming up.
Girl, yeah. There's a lot of people don't got back together. It's like, I never seen it coming.
Y'all just gotta wait and see as far as this stuff with him, how it plays out. So just keep your eyes open, because y'all know when Usher stuff, it's gonna be seen and noticed with him. So,
all right. So, on that note, we're gonna go ahead and get into the next one. I don't know if you've seen when I shared it what our main topic is about, but this one's gonna get a little deep.
Yeah, y'all.
It's the exploitation of child stars in the entertainment industry. That's why we was like the Black History moment. We're talking about film, entertainment, all of that. This part of the conversation rarely happens.
Yeah.
It's still kind of thrown under the rug. And there actually was a case a couple of years back where, some people were going to get exposed to what they were doing in the industry and things like that. But this is the exploitation of child stars in the entertainment industry. If you guys got any feedback on this one, we just kind of want to get into this one because I'm going to put up this picture just to kind of get this conversation started. Because it's definitely noticeable. Like, for instance,
who we got? Yep. Y'all remember her?
Family Matters. She was on there for the first couple of shit. I forgot her name because she just went upstairs and never came back.
Yeah. Judy. I mean,
there we go.
Wait,
they said her mom messed up her situation when it came to Family Matter.
You know what, and that's some of the what we want to talk about. So just kind of going into just a few of those people that just didn't quite pan out to be well after that. It's a lot that they were exposed to prematurely. that, you know, it was the price of fame, and a lot of it has to do with just that, you know, exploitation. And not all the time is it the staff around, you
Right.
know, the actors that you know, acting with and all that kind of. Sometimes it's also the parents.
Parent. Yep.
And we're not talking about like just you know, actresses, and we're talking about just the full entire entertainment industry, music, all of that. So we actually have a list. Kyle, you got your list up as well?
Yeah.
We got a little list of, you know, of course we can't name on all of them, but we at least got some of the, you know, 10 stars with who ruined their lives. And some names you're kind of familiar with. So there's one that I'm going to highlight right here, as you know. Now with her, what's her name? Jamie, what was her name?
Jamie Foxworth.
Okay. So her story, I actually knew about it because I used to watch that Celebrity Rehab they had.
Mm-hmm.
She was on there. And she had and then we're gonna go through the 10, but we're gonna talk about some of those child stars that we can remember too. But
Okay.
she had an addiction to marijuana, even though I don't believe in marijuana addictions. It's more of a habit forming thing. It's more of a, but you know, we ain't gonna go into, you know, that stuff.
Right.
But she went to rehab to get off of marijuana. And she also did porn. And I think her mother, I don't know all the story, but it's just like, it's just some parents are so interested in that child being famous and things like that. They'll do whatever they want, you know, whatever they feel is necessary for that child to make them money, because that's what it really comes down to. It ain't about the kid, you know, it's all about, shoot, we can live this cute kid. You know, people are interested in them. Let's put them to work. You know, it's kind of, we can avoid child labor laws because, you know, hey, where is there a way to make some type of money? It said, I heard her story from a former child star about the stuff that they were exposed to. Absolutely. So we're going to get into a little bit of some of those top 10 people. As you can see, there is one that we all know.
Yep. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna go on down to his story right there, since we're talking about him, and then we'll get into it. So it's not in order because we got a top 10 list, but y'all know that man.
Macaulay Culkin. Kevin.
He was, you know, America's sweetheart. He was that little kid next door. He was in Michael Jackson videos. He was just that little boy, you know, Home Alone. And then, you know, if you got some under, you know, after 2000 babies in this chat, y'all might not know who he is, but he's well known for the Home Alone movies. Of course, he was born in 1980, and you know, and he did Broadway shows.
Kevin McAllister.
He just did a lot of things, low-rated films, as well as it just kind of led to his role to the sequel of Home Alone. So it was allegations that his father was mismanaging his fortune during that time. This was later confirmed as his parents entered into a custody battle, during which it seemed that they were more interested in their son's fortune than in their son. So, you know, that's kind of where it goes. It's like they get greedy.
They start
it's not about that child's feeling and well-being and the hard hours they're working and things like that. It's just, you know, they get a taste of that money.
It's living through your kids. It's the fact that it's the fame. You're getting invited places. You're getting to do stuff, and you get all this money. You become addicted to it, and your child no longer becomes your child. They become your check. They become your cash cow. And it's unfortunate because a lot of these kids end up being susceptible into drugs, alcohol, end up getting screwed over, stuff like that. I mean, you could go into, who else a child star said then got screwed over? It's
Britney Spears.
Well, we're gonna get into. We got a little list. We got a little list of not all of them. Of course, we can't name all of them, but we do have a little list to kind of highlight some of those people, and then we can go into it. So, we already said, the number one sweetheart there, but let's go into number 2 on the list. We got Aaron Carter.
Aaron Carter.
He was the brother of Nick Carter. He passed away, right?
Yep. That was was it last year?
Last year.
And it was a drug overdose. I think it was like, let's see. It just kind of says here that
you got something on him.
Yeah, I'm just going through that top 10 list. It said at the age of 7, Aaron began as the lead singer for the band Dead End. So just kind of early. You're a lead singer in a band, trying to follow behind your brother's steps. And he got a record contract. It just said he was he was in Lizzie McGuire, a Teenage Witch, Seven Heaven. So his music career opened up a lot of doors for him, and as well as he already had a famous brother that he had to live behind. The parents was like, oh shoot, this kid is doing whatever, let's go ahead and put him in there. Right. But what this led up to is Carter was arrested for speeding and found marijuana in his car. He became addicted to Xanax, which had him using to relieve his anxiety. So he had a lot of anxiety. 3 years later, still addicted to the prescription drug. He had to go into the rehabilitation center by his brother. Nick was just there to try to help him. His mother, unfortunately, it was the death of his sister from a drug overdose, which drove him to sobriety in 2012. But it's just, he started filing for bankruptcy then. So at that time, there's just so much going on with these celebrities. It's just like they grow up and not able to just really be a child.
But this, and doesn't it say he's now clean and back on track financially?
Is this I thought, who was the one that passed away then? Because this is an old story. Then
Carter did pass.
He did. So this is the old articles.
I know, but that's why I just pointed that out, because I'm like, wait a minute, this saying he is now clean and back on track.
That was back then. So, but he got back on the road to recovery, and I guess he was doing all right, but I guess he relapsed.
Because this was from 2018.
Yeah. So it's an old article, or whatever, but it's still relevant. You know what I'm saying? So, he said, Kevin, you spent $1,600 on room service. So, yeah, he did. He passed away in 2022. So, that's another one right there. Let's get into. So you can go to the next one.
Was it
number 3? Now I'm going from 1 to 3. I'm at the bottom. Start bottom up.
You doing from the bottom? Okay. Yeah. Well, we have Justin Bieber, guys, and his name has been thrown around with that whole Diddy thing. You know how that Diddy and Usher type of stuff. I think Usher did reach out to him for the Super Bowl, but I didn't really get really deep into that. But I think I heard something about he wasn't ready for that yet or something. I'm not sure what happened there with the Super Bowl. He just wasn't ready for that. But
I think he's going through some health issues as well.
That's something, it was something he just wasn't. He just said no, he really couldn't do or something. But just quickly, Justin Bieber, guys. He was born in 1994. Okay, he was, right. He's from Canada. He's always been interested in his music. He actually taught himself. Y'all remember he came out, he's playing the piano really good. Yep. And so he rose to stardom. Let's see, began when his mother started posting videos of him performing on YouTube. And I actually remember that when he was about 13 or something like that. His account grew from there. It was on YouTube. I remember that. And of course, everybody, including myself, fell in love with him. He was doing a lot of let's see, his first single was One Time, and I thought it was so cute. That was released back in 2009. So he had that single out. Let's see, I'm just trying to get straight to. So if you guys don't remember, I remember this all too well. Back in 2011, that was his first run-in with the law. He was a teenager, a woman, in the lawsuit, where she claimed that the 17-year-old, then he was 17 in 2011, was the father of her child. Fortunately, DNA test proved the pop star's innocence based on, this article. Okay, guys, I didn't even know that. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. And so that was that. And then 2013, he was accused of spitting on his neighbor after making threatening comments. After that, it had just been a number of complaints.
A spiral things, just a lot of behavioral things.
Yeah, because he was like, 2021. Now, mind y'all, compare him to these, I ain't gonna call them that. Lord, I started calling. Lord, these children are nice kids today, are Gen Zs. Now, think about how they act, okay, as a whole. And think about him. Ain't no difference. The only difference is he's in the spotlight and all this is going down. With his craziness is being played out in front of everybody, right? And so I remember him, he was having parties and stuff. The neighbors were loud parties and the neighbors were complaining. He was in the press over and over again. He started recorded urinating. He got recorded urinating in public and yelling some stuff about former president Bill Clinton.
It's bad boy. He always seem to go through a bad boy stage,
right? Yes. Yeah. And in 2014, this is gonna wrap this up about him. In 2014, he was arrested for drag racing. I remember this, and driving under the influence.
And there's always something under the influence with him.
And so, of course, he went to jail and had to go through that. And this was one of Usher's artists or whatever. And I remember hearing something about they called him to talk to him, get your stuff together. Control. And so I remember what Usher kind of was talking to him and whatever and all that kind of stuff. And then he actually, y'all remember that show where you go on there, the celebrities, they roast each other. They just take it. So Justin was on there and they were roasting him. Now, this was a little bit after all this, but he had started settling down. And during the roast, I mean, he was just taking it. He wasn't looking like he didn't care. He was just looking like, hey, I did that. They roasted me. Oh, well. And he took it. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't laughing. But you could tell he was accepting it. And he was just like, oh, well. And now here he is today, making great music. I love his soft. He still has a voice to me. I like his music a lot. And he's still trying to battle with some things, but you don't hear him out, in the media just doing the most. You know what I'm saying?
Well, speaking of doing the most, we're going to go ahead and we ain't going to go into everybody's story, but let's just kind of bring up the last few. And then y'all, if you want to, you can bring in some people that, some honorable mentions. It's not on this top 10 list. But we got Drew Barrymore. Mm-hmm. We got Demi Lovato, her bout with mental illness and things like that. We got, of course, Amanda Bynes, Britney Spears, just naming some popular ones that people kind of know. Like you said, even Lindsay Lohan is in this list. Mm-hmm. She had went through a spite of trouble and things like that, like that conservatorship that some of these celebrities had. Right. Like how we were saying that the parents, like with Britney Spears' story, all they cared about was that money. That girl went from Disney to being a pop star to always on tour, always working, dealt with her mental health in the public. They decided to, push her away when she had that, she shaved her head and she was coming at paparazzi. You remember that?
Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about that when she shaved her head. Yeah.
She was, because it was a little bit after, her and Justin Timberlake had broke up, and of course, she had kids.
She was
she had to grow up
Kevin,
so soon.
Kevin Federline.
Well, I said just yeah. So and Federline, yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That situation. Now that situation is like, I understand their mom has mental illness, but I felt like Federline played a part in her kids and her relationship with her. Paris Hilton, that's another one. Y'all put in some comments in the chat. Nicole Richie, Gary Coleman. That's a couple of exploits. Name some childhood stars that just fell off.
Lark Voorhees. She started battling with some stuff.
Madonna.
Mental.
She did that kiss with Madonna. Huh? Yeah, I remember that.
Mike had to bring up Michael Jackson. Oh,
Michael Jackson.
Oh, Michael, I'm so sorry.
Michael Jackson. And then Whitney, we're gonna let you speak. I know we've been talking a lot. I think Michael Jackson just didn't have the opportunity to be a child as well. And I think that affected his mental psyche of how old he felt he was, or he was making up for what he didn't have. So, he had the big amusement park in his, at his home. He was like a big kid, of course, all the accusations that came out. It was a lot of people money hungry, even if he was maybe a child at heart. Sometimes that does happen where some people are just kind of feel like I'm a big kid and nothing else that you can do about that. So he might have just had an innocent way about himself, but as a grown man, children spending the night with you, sleeping in the bed with you, that type of thing. Now we ain't gonna go too deep in that conversation because that can go in.
Yeah, don't start.
But you just gotta look at his mental psyche, as a child, what he was exposed to, the beating from his father, being in, like, if y'all ever watched a movie, they was in like strip clubs where he's seeing naked women, or brothers in the bedroom screwing women in front of him. And he's just like, no, I don't want to see this. I'm a child. This is too much for me. So I think he was just not extremely mature. He didn't age, like he should have. He didn't develop that way. What you got to say on that? Does anybody want to mention about, childhood star? Because it's another one I didn't mention. But
it's a lot of them.
And she did. Go ahead. She might have she might not be here right now. So she's on mute right now. So Orlando.
Oh, Orlando. Green. What's the last name? Green? Brown. Green. Oh, I went to school with that. Oh, sorry, y'all. Okay.
River Phoenix. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep. A lot of them. It's a lot of them. It's so sad. It is so sad. It's so sad.
What is that lady name that was on
Raven?
LL Cool J's?
You're talking about
Maya or something like that?
Maya.
She actually has schizophrenia.
Yeah. Because I watched, how you watch the Unsung or all that kind of stuff on BET or whatever, TV One. Yeah, it was real. Maya, I think her name is Maya.
Maya Campbell. Yeah, like Maya she's Campbell. On the street. She's on the street. I haven't seen anything since then, but it was like a year or two back where she's comfortable where she's at. Like she doesn't want the help.
Nope.
Her mental illness just kind of got her just gone. And she's not looking like herself anymore. Some people kind of seen her just around, just maybe give her clothes and things like that. But there's this guy now he's not in entertainment, but there's this guy that's in Georgia that also has he's extremely smart, has the most beautiful skin. He's like very dark skin toned, but he has a mental illness. But he just chose the life of being homeless. That's just the way he lives. He doesn't accept a lot. He'd rather be on the street. And that was Maya Campbell. She's kind of, I mean, I don't know her story now, but when I last caught up on it, yeah.
She got that same stuff Lark boy he's going through with that makeup. What is up? No, seriously, guys. You see her eyes? And she's 47 years old. Let me show you this picture. I'm just pulling it up there because look at this now.
B2K, and that is some trauma. Okay, so Witten was up. She lost her signal or whatever. We got you. Let her go in on that one. Yeah, beautiful. But she had a mental health. You know, she had diagnosed, and that's the same thing for a lot of these celebrities. You know, mental health is real.
Definitely real. Whether you're superstar, you're famous, or whatever, it doesn't matter, man. Mental illness is mental illness. When you need help, you need help. It don't look no different. None.
Judith Barcy. Okay. Oh, I see. And then so did you have anybody you wanted to talk about in this one? We just kind of bringing up some celebrities that just.
It's so many. Somebody had named it in the chat, Gary Coleman. I'm trying to think of some other ones who got really like screwed over. I mean, everybody in the Mickey Mouse Club, you know, that's JC Chazez, or that's Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, but some of them haven't been able to do it. But Britney, I think, was the worst off. It's so many child star. Lee Thompson Young. I was in love with him when he was Jet Jackson on Disney Channel. He committed suicide.
Yeah, that was so sad. Y'all remember how that happened though? How he was dressed in all white and they saw him walking around. Yep, he was dressed in all white. He was just walking around and then that was.
And ATL Leo said, I've been homeless before. A lot of homeless people don't know, nothing else but how to be homeless and stay on the streets and always asking for a handout. So some homeless people, like, they have it where sometimes, because like people like get them off the streets and things like that. For one thing, we did close some shelters. That's bad. You can go to a Grady and go get doped up for a couple of days, and then you're just out there in the street. But some of these people is like, I'm fine living in a tent. I don't have any bills. I don't have any, I stand there and panhandle. I'm making $100, every 2 hours or so. So I can go and get me something to eat. People donating food to me, clothing, it becomes their life. So it's like, I'm comfortable. And then they have like, sometimes they be having like a little community of homeless people that support each other. Of course, they got to hold their stuff and everything is get stolen, so they got to wear everything and have everything. But it's like a family out there. So it's like we can always help people, but don't feel hurt if they don't accept it, because you got to look at some of these are mental illnesses, drugs, alcohol, and just some of them just like I'm better off living like this.
But you know what? Even with the community, when you said a community, like even I remember just like if I'm driving, what is that? Oh, I can't think of it. It's where you kind of go the back way where the stadium is to get on that highway. I don't know. And it's like that when you go under the bridge where you see all the homeless people under there. And I remember being at that light, stopping right there. And first of all, they have all their stuff. It looks sad. It makes you just hurt when you see it. But then I saw a couple of them fighting. They got into this fight and they were up in that thing. And they were rolling down. They were fighting. I'm talking about fighting. I was so scared. I was like, Light, please change. Because I gotta go. Because it was crazy. I hadn't seen nothing like it. But it's just the fact that, first of all, it's unsafe to be out there in those streets like that. They're fighting. They're trying to protect what's theirs. Even though
they're surviving.
It's like, well, this is mine. This is mine. This is mine. They was fighting about something. But my thing is, I always question. I know it's easier said than done, but it's like, what can you do? You know, where can they go?
It's and what I'm gonna say, because I know we was talking about celebrities, but I did want to get into this topic because, like we said, it can be anybody. The economy right now,
sky high.
It's so many more homeless people in their sane mind out there because the cost of living is going up, but the wages are not going up. Nope. These resources. I just went to the grocery store to get some. I made some enchiladas like the night before.
I'm waiting.
And it was like ridiculously on just the littlest things I was picking up. Cheese, this, that, meat, this, that.
$80.
But it was too expensive. And it's like, and you're supposed to feed for one thing, they say I make too much for food stamps. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I'm spending my money on. Food, bills, lights. Their school expenses now, because now we got to supply the teachers with products and supplies and just being a single parent right now. I had to literally pick up a second job, and I'm actually looking for my second job again because the one I was at, it was just getting too cold and they took away my source of being warm. I couldn't imagine what a homeless person was out there. I'm in the coat, standing out here like this, trying to make a way. So it's like, I don't poke fun at homeless people because it's like everybody is one paycheck away from being on that street. It's a lot of people.
Yeah. I'm telling y'all, better stop fooling around and joking around and laughing at these people. Like, look, it is getting ridiculous. It's
Nyght Ryder said he could have been there. Absolutely. $80 back then, it would fill your house up.
Yeah. Shh. You didn't even need $80 to fill your cup for the month. I'm talking about driving everywhere.
That is a fact.
Everything. You can't catch a break. We can't catch a break. Damn. The kids need snacks. Like you said, you let's not even talk about extracurricular activity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just too freaking expensive. Half the time, I don't even see how it's being done. Sometimes we look back and say, how we even? I don't know, because it's so darn expensive out here. You know what I mean? That's why I don't know, man. That's
why this
a whole
topic
other conversation. Never mind.
This topic hits home for me because, like I said, we have a memorial coming up Sunday, and I did learn some things where my loved one was really struggling. She was out there on the street living, and so it was like drugs were her way of coping, and sometimes us we are prideful, so it's like we don't want to reach out and tell anybody what we're struggling. But it's like Nyght Ryder, ATL Leo, they was almost there, and Leo said he was out there homeless.
See, that's sad.
So that's why we can get back into this child topic, because now that social media is what it is now, anybody can be an instant superstar on social media. You know, you got your TikTokers, your YouTubers, your Facebook famous people, your Instagram models. So it's not only just the, you know, actors and actresses, the entertainers, the musicians, things like that. Now it's your TikTokers. It's, you know, it's, these children are exposed to entirely too much. I've seen a post where one thing, I'm always been against pageant young ladies and things like that. You know, I just feel like they dress them up too. It's just too much sometimes. Too grown. But there's this. I saw it was a post of this young lady. Of course, these mothers are living through their children. Because maybe they wasn't able to dress like that or doing this thing. They're dressing their children up like dolls, and it was certain posts of inappropriate outfits and things like that on this little girl. You know, she's a little shapely and things like that, but you dress her like a kid, you know, with these big extensions and all this going on in their head like a Bratz doll. And it's like this generation is all about exposing your child because you're trying to make a quick paycheck, and it's freaking ridiculous. What you got on that, Wit?
Also, let's not forget Brooke Shields, the whole thing with Blue Lagoon and how she was a sex symbol in her teenage years, and having all those men lust after her and stuff like that, and the Calvin Klein jeans and all this extra stuff. It is a lot, and it's like, when everybody has a dream of being famous, you want to get on a TV show, you want to be able to do it, you want to get in a movie, but if you don't have the right protection behind you when it comes to your parents, if you don't, that's why they have the safeguards in case, because it was so many child stars, Judy Garland and a few others, that got money taken away from them, like where there are acts now where their money goes into trust now to where they can't touch their money at a certain age, things like that. And it's just like, you have those times where you maybe have a Brandy. Chris Brown mother has tried to keep him out of trouble, but I would say Chris still a superstar. He's still on top of the world, but he's had his issues. Where you have had the parents that stand behind them, be the momager or the managers and things like that. You have Zendaya, you have a few other child stars that start off as child stars that have been able to be success stories, but it's so many that Corey Haim is that grew up. We all fell in love with them. They was kid stars. They either got on drugs, their popularity stopped, they became bad girl, bad boy, they passed, or something traumatic happened. I know the little girl from Poltergeist, her dad killed her. And it's so many instances, and it's just bad to see. But I enjoyed the platform tonight. I got to get holding on a bit.
Go ahead, lady. Thank you for joining us on this conversation. We're probably gonna be wrapping this up soon. We're gonna get into just the dark side of it. So, and thank you, Wit. Appreciate you, lady.
Of course. Y'all have a blessed rest. You, and thank you so much.
You too.
See you next time.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. So it was said, like what Nyght Ryder said, same thing for these fathers who failed as athletes and try to live through their kids. It happens. It happens, man. It's happening. And somebody mentioned B2K.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dark sexual secrets in there. And kind of look at Marquise Houston and some of these celebrities, Elvis, R. Kelly, that Jay-Z.
I'm wondering what went down in Diddy's growing up.
It's like grooming these young ladies. Like Marquise is married to somebody that's 21 now, 19, but he was talking to her well before she was 18. I can say that.
Yeah.
But he got married to her, but it's like I did say R. Kelly. Grooming these young girls, like with the R. Kelly situation, It was parents being money hungry. It was R. Kelly's wife that didn't care. She knew what was going on, but she was too busy being Miss Kelly. She overlooked a lot of things. Everybody knew what was going on. They knew that Aaliyah relationship and everything that was going on. One thing I blame these parents too is like, yeah, we locked up R. Kelly, but you're not locking up the parents that allowed your young child to go around that. They knew. They knew. But they got that hush money, like, you know, because it's a situation. I'm not going to say who, you know, where it came from.
Yeah.
But it was somebody I you know, was with. And it was, you know, and it's happening not only in the industry, it's happening just back in the day where a lot of these young girls were being pretty much sold to older men. And this particular situation that I knew about, mom was 16 years old when she had her child to a 40-year-old man. And what happened was, it was one of those kind of like, have y'all looked at What's Love Got to Do with It, where it was like, let me ask you for your, you know, your daughter's hand
and marry. Yeah, one of those.
That was the situation. He you know, he went to the mother and was like, hey, I like her, I want to have her, and okay, shoot, let me take care of you so I can have my way with your, you know, your daughter. A lot of that was happening, and a lot of that was, it's pandered into the industry, you know, the entertainment industry. Is like, you know, we just got this bubbly little character on, you know, but it's still trafficking. It's still, because let's get into just what are the dark sides of it, you know. Like we said, the sexual exploitation of the industry, where people were getting raped,
drugged.
Yeah, the drugs that kept them. So it's like they was raped. One part where they were, of course, abusing substances, and one of the things that would probably cause some of that substance abuse was, they're saying that the cases of physical, not only was it sexual, where it's like, you know, they're sitting on people's laps, they're dressing too sexy, they're not being children. You know, there's also the physical exploitation in the entertainment industry, where these minors worked hard hours, long hours, no sleep. So they were doping them up with what they call it adrenaline shots and pep pills to kind of, so they can continue to shoot despite intense exhaustion.
Right.
Making them. Can I share my take really quick? Come on in.
Come on, Mike.
Come on.
Okay.
Actually.
But hold on. Look, I want to mention, I do want to say, while he's coming on doing what he needs to do, something Mike said, though, it happened to my ex. Her dad tried to sell her to a music producer. I mean, I've heard, I'm tired of hearing these stories now, and I'm tired of these.
Come on in. Let me put the we know what we're gonna do here, since we're feeling this conversation. Let's invite some people to chime in on this conversation. Because it needs to be exposed. So I'm gonna go to the next portion of the dark side of it. So, you know, we talked about the sexual part of things, exposing these children to too much. It's also the psychological impacts. Let me put this in the chat real quick.
How can you sell something that you so-called love and you're supposed to protect when you bring into this world to somebody, or even think to go there?
Because it's the price it's the money.
How dare you?
It's the money.
So now this show about to take a damn turn. I'm sorry, folks, but this is my show, me and Maggie show. So if y'all not liking what's about to be said and all that, go ahead and click the freak off.
But it says here, the majority of the effects of being either sexually or physically exploited as a minor tend to manifest as mental illness. This is where they become mentally ill. When one is sexually assaulted, common effects include the development of PTSD, drug addictions, alcoholics, so that exhaustion, that emotional, like for one thing, they're not being children. They're not getting the education. Not everybody was in tutoring and school and things like that. It was just like, this is how you're making your money. We don't care about you. We care about this. So get on there and work. Go ahead and do that. So Mike, give us a little bit of your story, and I think we got another one here in the chat that Nyght Ryder want to get in on here.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Mike.
So a lot of people don't know about me that I actually went to a performing arts school, the same where Stacey Abrams went to, as well as Donald Glover. Was like I went to that school, so I was privileged to be able to meet a lot of people just been in the industry. And my ex, she was actually in program myself. And one of the things what people don't know is that like these parents, it's the parents. They throw out all of their morals to sell. They literally prostitute these kids at a young age. And I'm talking about the age where it's like 5 years old. Like they prostitute these kids. And she was actually a victim of that also. She was, I think, 20, I think it was like 19, 20 years old, or fresh out of high school. And she had a deal with this record producer here in the States. And this is what they do. This is what I know for sure. I know this for sure. They get them in the States. And what happens is they promise them, all right, you're going to go on tour with, let's just say, an Usher. They get you over there overseas where the rules don't apply over there. American rules don't apply over there. So they take them over there. They take these artists, these young artists over there overseas. And this is why AFN, for the most part, like we have certain rules. Like, look, we're not going to sell our integrity, and make a few deals. And I've been propositioned quite a few times. Like they got her over there, and her producer, this is a producer, he told her verbatim, it's like, if you want this contract, you're going to have to go in that back room and sleep with this old white guy. She didn't. Man, that shit been going on for years. It's been going on for years. You know that, not right? This shit happens. It happens all the time, and that's why I say you
somebody that been in the game long enough, bro. I done seen it all.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Nyght Ryder.
Go ahead. Go.
I done seen it all, boy. I'm talking about. It's just ridiculous how some of these folks just damn do. Some of these folks just need a good swift kick in their ass. It's sad, boy. It don't make no damn sense. The shit people do for money.
Yeah. You being in that industry, you being in that producer chair, I'm sure you've seen, late night studio sessions, and I'm pretty sure you've seen quite a bit, in these spots, the drugs, the women, the over sexualness,
Oh, don't get to become an artist. I took part in the alcohol park, and we were over there just partying and shit. But as far as the drugs, nope, let them have it. Yeah. Shit, when I felt like I was uncomfortable, shit, I got the hell on.
You got the hell on. So do you were the young girls, around? Did you see a lot of that?
Well, no, they were mostly like girls around our age. You gotta think about around that time. I had been like in my early to mid 20s. Okay. It might have been a few though, maybe like 21, 22. But for the most part, they was all around the same age as us. But they you know how that go. Come with territory.
Mm-hmm.
Come with territory. Everybody want to try to be on top and say they done did this and been with this person and all that shit. That ain't me.
Yeah. And you just seem like you're a man about your reputation, though. You ain't with all that craziness, even though you was around it.
Somebody got to have some kind of
somebody got to have some sense. But go ahead, Nyght. You had something else to mention.
But yeah, about the whole. Remember, I was mentioning y'all about the Judith Barca situation. That whole situation was just so sad. Sure, if y'all don't know who she is, y'all remember the movie The Land Before Time?
Yeah.
Mm.
She was the voice of Ducky in The Land Before Time.
Mm-hmm.
She was getting ready to be a real big star, like around the late 80s, and her father was real abusive towards her and her mother. So her mother was finna get ready to divorce him. And shit, the father just lost all his shit. He went and killed her and the mother. That was that whole situation was just so messed up.
Mm-hmm.
We all know, I'm pretty sure we all know what the hell that was over.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
It's a lot of jealousy. It's a lot of, let's see what these comments are saying. I don't see anything. Okay. Land Before Time is the movie. A lot of parents are jealous of their child too.
Oh yeah.
Especially these mothers and their daughters. Oh Lord, a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of parents. And another thing too, a lot of the parents, they sitting there letting their kids just do whatever the hell they want. I was on a internet radio show. I was like one of my good friends. She had her own internet radio show maybe about 15 years ago, and I was just having to be a guest on the show or whatever. And she interviewed what's her name, Cher Johnson. Remember Maxine?
Yeah.
She told a story about at the time she was on Punky Brewster, and NBC had this big banquet or whatever. And I think she said Dana Plato were there. A lot of folk, a lot of the child actors that was on NBC shows and stuff like that. The parents letting them do all that damn drinking and shit, knowing damn well they ain't even old enough to they barely old enough to get in the playground at Burger King.
Wait, that was what Lizzie Lohan was on, y'all. She was doing, I think, Dope. Doing that the movie The Parent Trap or something like that.
They was doing doing cocaine and all types of stuff.
Yeah, man. I remember Cherry Johnson said she looked at that wine bottle, her mama looked at her, and her mama had that look on her face. Look, if you touch that wine bottle, I'm gonna knock the hell out of you.
Yep.
We had some parents with some dignity. Boy, the rest of them, they just didn't give a damn.
And Pamela Johnson said that's why parents need to communicate with their teenage monitors, their social media, and there are a lot of because I'm gonna tell you, my child, she was exposed to one of those internet predators, and unfortunately, that was the traumatic event that broke the camel's back. Basically, when that incident happened. Of course, she was kind of going through some mental health things before because it's hereditary, it's in the family. But it was basically like a 50-year-old, how you get on these little chats for like Discord and gaming things. Like you can communicate with these people. And it was a guy that took her youngness and, they exchange information, things like that. Then, of course, they portray as somebody that's just a kid into game. Then the questions they ask and the things they try to persuade this child to do. This man was trying to lure my child out my house. It didn't happen because I'm very protective of my children. But it was where they're like, and we're going to have this conversation because we went deep into this last year when we had Phaedra on the show. Just the child trafficking and things like that. Basically, what they do is they get these Google numbers that can't be traced. So she blocked him on WhatsApp. She blocked him from one number. He finds a way to find her again. But he was asking inappropriate questions, and she got fearful that he was coming out to get her. And when she snapped, she went into the mental hospital and everything else. Well, before she went in there, she went into a blackout where she was like, "He's coming to get me. He's, he's here in the hospital." It scared her that much. So people, you need to watch your children's social media altogether. It's not just pedophiles out there on the street trying to get your kids while they're in school. It's the fucking internet now.
That's
It's the internet now.
and these bullies on here
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time on the bullying, boy.
They speaking of, and this just found this out on Sunday. So, a lot of us, parents were talking, just having our little conversation while the kids were practicing. And it came up to where I won't name the school, but at this particular school, you have a 4th grader who is basically a terrorizer. 4th grader girl. She got the Google number and everything. And this goes back to, what the hell are you doing, parent? What's going on? Why is happening, right? Get a Google number, fake number. She's bullying 7th graders. Okay. She is, I'm talking about, being like the bad seed. Y'all know that movie, The Bad Seed? She's like that. And it's another one at the same school. She's a twin. Now you have the good twin and this other twin, whatever, right?
Cain and Abel.
So you
have it to where her twin is okay. The girl had a kill list. She had a kill list, and she had her sister on there. Her sister was one of them.
Oh wow.
Okay. And so you have the girl who, now I think her one of her her dad. So they found her. She was on social media on live. And I guess she had put some makeup on. Now this is the 4th grader. I'm not sure what grade that other twin is, but that twin is in. But the 4th grader one, she had put like some makeup on and everything, and going around on social media, basically saying her dad did it to her, and she was like, "Stop, dad! Stop, dad!" That type of stuff. Right. And kind of find out her dad had passed because he got sick of COVID and everything. Now she doing all of this. And I'm like, what is the mob like? Anybody? Not only you got one terrorizer, but you have 2. And then dragging, that's like the girl taking my kid who don't even have nothing to do with her. And
kids are easily influenced.
They're in trouble with something. They're like,
you know what? I don't know if y'all know, it's a girl that will go viral on YouTube, and what she does, she walk up to random people and she just be starting fights and picking fights with people. And like I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of, and people just think it's just the most hilarious thing. But this is what these kids are being. That's what they watching on Instagram, on YouTube. Like they like these like, and I'm gonna send it to y'all. I think this shit is just absolutely disgusting. Like she really walking up to these random people, just bullying. Hey man, you want to fight? What about I end up? What about if I pull out my gun? I'm gonna shoot you. Like she be saying this stuff to people.
That's crazy.
Hey, how many? They probably showing the one that they got away with. I'm pretty sure they got
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna run into the wrong one.
It's gonna take just that one good ass whooping they're gonna sit them down.
And they think or it's gonna be somebody that got a mental illness that will retaliate, and you don't trigger that person. Oh, that's your life.
And it ain't their day. They having a bad day too.
Yeah, look at ATL Leo. It's.
I've been bullied before.
Get into his comments. Go ahead, Nyght, Ryder. We're gonna get into ATL Leo's comments.
I've been bullied before, and it was the one dude. He just so happened to catch me on the right day. When I tell you I slapped the freckles off that boy, I ain't have a problem out of him since.
That's what it takes, though. You gotta
you don't know what people have been through. You leave people alone. If you ain't got no issue with them, leave them alone. If they ain't did nothing to you, leave them alone. Because you never know what can happen.
And I've been that before. Shit.
And there's we're going to ATL Leo, then we're gonna get into, because I know Mike got some stories about him having to defend himself. I had a blackout when I was homeless in shelter with apartments. I was going to commit suicide and was so angry I was going to fight anybody who even tried to say hi. Or so that's what I'm saying. He was going through something emotionally. And actually something just happened. I was just talking to Leo. He just had an incident trying to come home from work but it turns out it's probably a lady with a mental illness. But she was harassing people, she was bothering people, and ATL Leo was just like, today is not the day for me. The lady messed with the wrong one, and he was about to, his rage came into play, and things like that. Yeah, he was very upset, and he called us. Like I said, that Discord is open. Message us if you really need to talk, and just get through these things. There's no judgment here. But we listen to Leo, when we get a chance to, and he's come a long way, but it's, there's things that he needs to work on. But I felt that the incident that happened last week, though, you just don't know who you're going to run into.
Right.
Yep. At the right time.
It's going to send you at that moment where you're seeing red. And I've been there. I've been there to where it was freaking scary. It was a time. It was a time where I was in a bar. I think I told Mike about this. It was like I was promoting the artist, my best friend, and
I think about something different.
You might be thinking something different, but this was before you was on the.
You know what? I don't think about Maggie. I done seen you when you about to see red.
Yeah. You seen that one too when we was at the bar that night. Well, we was at
Royal Peacock for my birthday.
Royal Peacock, and this lady, he saw the that side of Maggie. Then it was like,
boy, hey, that good knock Maggie drink over. Well, I was like, she finna grab by that wig.
Well,
come on, let me go to the bar.
It was almost a glass of bottle finna be upside her head, but this wasn't that incident.
She just look back
look back like
we've all had our moments. I had 2 of them at jobs at 2 different workplaces, and it happens. You see red, and we done already shared some stories, and I don't be around like it'll take you there. It'll make you black out to where, and then everybody be quiet like, oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God.
I didn't know it had it in you. Like it was that time. It was back in this time when I was, Mike know it. This is when I had, one of my jobs had downsized on hours. So I was like, they was playing around with my my unemployment. So I was trying to find a way to make money. So I was like, you know what? Let me go full time into our business, event planning. You met me at that restaurant. That
was the first time we met in person.
Yeah, that was the first time we met in person.
No, I'm saying, is that the time you're talking about? That okay,
at that restaurant.
So okay.
I was trying to have an AFN bar and grill.
Oh yeah,
connection.
Right. Yeah, and
I had a best friend. No, we're no longer cool like that anymore. But I was heavily promoting her. I wasn't sleeping. I was on caffeine, trying to just make life happen because it's like I don't have my job now, so I'm gonna just do all these other projects. So my mental health took a huge effect. Yep. So I was going on adrenaline at this time, not focused, not I wasn't myself at this time. But it was this girl that supposed to have been some type of promoter. Well, like I was supposed to be. It turns out this place was just looking for pretty women to be on, I was more into like, I need to sit down, I need a contract. We need to negotiate booths and all that. So it was this one girl, you could tell she's a prostitute. That's how she makes her living. So it was that type of establishment. You get what I'm saying? So I pieced it because it's like, let's sit down and negotiate some stuff. You're talking about I can get the door, I can get the bar, I can rent booths and I can get that income. So it was something that they were making it sound good, but we could never sit down and do business. But this one girl came up to me, dress all half up here and all this kind of stuff. She was looking at me.
Where was I?
You wasn't there that night. And
Lord, please don't say it was floor wax.
No, it wasn't.
Okay,
And she peeped me out because she didn't like my friend, my promoter friend, my artist. You know, she's a rapper, and they had some beef back in the day. And you understand that energy that you get, that evil. It was just something dark about this girl, and she found me on social media some type of way, and followed me, and didn't like my friend, and they brought that energy into the spot. And it started happening where they was calling my girl out, trying something with her, things like that. And that drags me into it because it's like, I'm going to protect my friend. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to come here and start this issue because you have some old time beef. This is beef years ago over some man. But the fact that I was drinking that night, smoking, having a good time, you ruined my evening because I'm over here trying to protect my friend. And the things you were saying was like a threat. So y'all, I went into a blackout. I didn't know what was going on, but I blacked out and I was thinking things that shouldn't have been thought at that moment. I was like, somebody gonna have to pull me out of jail at this moment. And it don't take that. I don't get like that, but I got like that. I allowed somebody to get me to that place. So you just don't never know what's going on because I'm already on edge in my own mental.
Yeah.
And you're trying to threaten a friend and you're coming for me. I snapped.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about it when I come back out the store. I'll tell you my incident. It was similar to it. Hold
on. I know for me it's I have too many.
Oh, we got Auntie Pam coming in.
Yes. I have way too many moments where I black out. I black out.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry.
That for me, that's me. That's kind of why I don't like hanging around a lot of people because I've always had an issue not blacking out. Like just the slightest thing could turn
you on the edge.
Yeah, and I remember this one time. Well, it's been multiple times. I've been on phone with Maggie, and next thing you know, I'm damn near, I'm getting into a fight with somebody, whether that's family or somebody at a random spot.
I've been on phones quite a few times where it's like, Mike, it ain't worth it, man. It ain't worth it. Like he's come a long way, I can say that.
Yeah, and just knowing, like you just got to know yourself. Like that's one of the main reasons why I like I said, I like going out, I like hanging with my people, but I know for me, it's like you got to know your triggers, and that's for me. I know my trigger is motherfuckers with smart mouths and just people just. I just don't do mouth. I don't do people mouth too much. Like that be the thing. People just rude and just like I don't do rudeness. And I remember this one time. I don't like I said. I got a phone. I kept getting random phone calls, and that's why I say it's like you gotta watch. Even people on social media. Like I kept getting a series of random phone calls from people. And one person. Like I said, it was just the wrong day with that. They called me and I literally blacked the fuck out. And I do remember. I think what I do remember for that is Kiel told me that I threatened to kill that person. And when I came to, I had to actually walk to the policing just to see if I was within my rights for protecting myself. But like these are the things that you just like when you on social media, man, like you gotta protect your family. And this is why Maggie and I have a consulting agency also, is because we're trying to teach people how to stay. A lot of people think it's weak just not to respond. You gotta respond to everything everybody says. It's not weak, man. Like you gotta really protect people. You become a target. Like we talking about people have called me pedophile. They've called they've questioned every part of me, of my manhood, Maggie's womanhood. Like I've gotten some disgusting shit. Like we've gotten a lot of discussion, and these are from friends, quote unquote friends, and strangers. So like you really have to be You really have to learn how
they
to
try to
protect
tear you
yourself from people.
down. Like when
They
you
would try to
want to be in
destroy
the
you.
spotlight, you're exposed to people putting up these false narratives about you because you said something they disagreed with. Nyght Ryder, you said, well, you know what? Nyght Ryder, tell your
Yeah.
story that
Mm-hmm.
Pam is on here.
Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, Maggie, remember you were telling the same. It's kind of like a similar story when the girl had beef or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it was this similar story was like, when I was in Albany State, I had some homies I used to hang with all the time, and it was one dude. He just every time I come around here, I always used to give me the side eye. So I told him, like, man, what's up with your homie right there? What wrong with him? Like, every time he always see me come around, he always say something slick or whatever. So I always just passed it out because I'm sober at the time. But it was one night.
He was sober.
We was at the club one night, and he we was out the same party. Me and a couple of my other partners I used to always pregame with. We was at the club one night, and my partner he sloppy drunk. I'm talking about he in the road. His homeboy got to hold him up just to get him to the car. And the dude that I tell you about that I always kept giving me the side eye when I come around, he just walk up to my homeboy and just punch him for no reason. And I'm going out these four locos and stuff. And I'm trying to sit down.
You was
I'm trying to sit down. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, so this dude just literally just walked up, punched this dude, his homeboy holding him up. They ain't whooping his ass yet. I said, That was when I blacked out and I went to my car. I ain't had no gun. I don't like shooting people. I went and grabbed a baseball bat.
Ooh.
And I literally remember this shit. Everybody was outside.
Everybody out.
This dude, I'm like, this dude literally just walked up to my homeboy, hit him for no reason, and his partners ain't doing shit. Oh, nah, not today, bro. I called. I walked up on him with the bat. Everybody like, no, don't do it. Y'all just go one-on-one. But I tell you, I know I lost a couple damn dreadlocks that night too, cause he started pulling on my hair with boy. When I tell you, I opened up a can of whoop ass on that boy, and then he got to school the next day. They're like, man, how the hell you let that dancing ass nigga beat your ass? they basically teased him out of school.
I mean, and you just don't know, man. You just don't know who you coming across. You don't know what their mental is. But let's go ahead and get to Miss Pam. You've been patiently waiting. I see that you've snuck in here. You got something to say about all this topic tonight.
Oh yeah. This happened when I was probably about my first job. I was probably 19 years old, working at Red Lobster on 13th Street in Columbus. It was a busy Saturday night. I was a waitress, and we run into this particular customer. She complained about the food. She complained about the service. Anything you did wasn't up to par. And so next thing you know, she said, well, I want to see your manager. And so she complained to the manager, this, that, just spreading lies, And I already was seeing red. And so the next thing you know, the manager gave her free food for free. I went back in the service area. I yelled, I quit. Ran out the door. Half of the waitress staff and the assistant manager ran behind me. I kid you not. And they stopped me before I got in my car and was, I guess, kind of calm me down because I was just seeing red. I was just upset because this customer just, I gave her the, gave her the good service and all that. And the only thing her goal was there to get a free meal.
Free meal.
And so it took, I think I just was sitting there and just was talking, and they were just basically listening. But I think the assistant manager, his goal was just to make sure I didn't quit, because I think after I calmed down and we were laughing and joking and all that, and his final question: do you want to quit your job now? It took a group of people to kind of calm me down. Because like I said, I was just seeing red because this person actually tipped me off.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
I thought you said you throw some hot butter on them.
I thought she was gonna be in the parking lot looking for her, like,
If I would have tried to throw a glass at her, I would have thrown a glass at her on me. Shoot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it was one of us would act like that. You know, came in there. It was an African American woman that did that.
Of course.
Of course. I'm not surprised. Coming over there, it be your own kind. It's in there raising hell for whatever damn reason.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you want a free bite.
Mm. If that was the case, you should have went to McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. But for her to act like that, she was doing. She been doing that.
Of course, of course.
She just knew what restaurants to target, and so she's like, "Oh, okay, I ain't target this one. Let me pull on the same."
If she was doing that for a long time, I guarantee you, she ran into the right one, and that nipped that in the bud.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
They started taking pictures of people that be, dining and dashing and trying to get free meals.
Yep. That's the only good thing about social media right now. They exposing those type of people and they prosecuting.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. So we really didn't get into all our topics because we just kind of jumped into just basically rage and you don't know who you're going through. It's like celebrities, regular people that's out there calling themselves social media influencers and things like that. It's a definitely different time now. Everybody is just selling themselves to the devil to make an income at this point.
Right.
There's no humanity out there. It's just people are, like I said, a paycheck away from being homeless.
Yeah.
And it's not getting any better. It's not getting any better. It's people that are family that don't been in houses forever, for years, staying in weekends and hotels, barely making it.
Yep.
I have a friend now that she has all 5, 6, 7 of her kids in a 1-bedroom hotel.
And meanwhile, we got these crooks up there in Washington lining their pockets and they ain't doing nothing.
Don't try bad day. No, don't try me on the bed. I'm just saying, I try to walk with Christ 7 days a week. Don't bother nobody. I don't bother nobody. So
hey, look here. Shannon Sharp said it best. Look here. They say, hey, what Shannon Sharp said on the show one day. He said, "Look, they say when you face your enemy, turn the other cheek." He said, "That's in the Bible. I ain't in there."
I ain't on that page yet, so I'm getting there. But I'll turn. But I'm just saying, for real, y'all know what I'm saying. Real talk. When you lie and you try, you do your best. You don't even care about nobody business much involved in your own stuff. But when somebody comes on that day, you try, and that person keep on. It's gonna take. And that's what I don't like when people say, "Oh, she about God, he gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna do nothing about God." First of all, God ain't told no fool. First of all,
okay. Sometimes you get sick and tired of being sick and tired.
What does that have to do? When, like you said, tired, you sick and tired, and that's it. You're gonna have to learn. Some people have to learn the hard way, and unfortunately, you seem to fall in that category. So, but what's not going to happen is I'm not going to jail for you or anything like that. I'm going to know how to do it. Going to catch the message, and that's all. That's the end all.
Well,
all right. On that note, people, let's go ahead and close it on now. We've been on here for 2 hours. This just been it ended up being an open discussion. It went from,
that was the best show.
Kids. This is the best show when it encouraged everybody else to want to give some feedback. But let's go ahead and close it out. I'm gonna start with everybody that came on the show. That me and Kai will say our last minute thoughts. But let's start it out with Mike. Let's say your last minute thoughts and everything on this, and let us everybody know where to find you and what's coming up next for you.
Well, we're actually putting together a show so we can be on the Maggie T production side of the game. So you're gonna start seeing some real talk from us. Because like for me, a lot of people don't know. It's like I love. I'm a fucking nerd. I'm a nerd. I love numbers. I love to read.
Yes, sir.
And Kev and I got some things. Kev Warren and I, we got some things that we want to kind of share people another side of us. But one thing I'll say in closing is this: is that don't let anybody tell you that your confidence and believing in yourself is the work of the devil. I don't give a fuck. Like my thing, I've been getting a lot of this shit. Like people really be mad at us because we're confident and we believe in ourselves. Look, I tell motherfuckers like this. My ego was look. God gave me this ego. God gave it to me.
Let me get the
God
Discord.
gave me an ego. I believe in myself. Like at the end of the day, man, don't let nobody tell you that you believing in yourself and your confidence, having confidence and being strong. That's a problem. Like if you can't handle how I am, well, we don't need to be friends. We don't need to be nothing. You can go to the left. So continue to believe in yourself. You are great. Like I always say. That's all I gotta say about that.
All right. I'm trying to get the Discord link in the chat, so give me a moment. But go ahead, Nyght Ryder. Close it on now. Close it on now.
Let me tell you something. You don't know what people done been through. So your best bet, you always respect people. You ain't gotta like them, you ain't gotta love them. You always respect them. Because like I said, you don't know what people been through. And on that note, y'all can find me on all platforms, Twitter, Threads, IG at NyghtRider229, all Y's, no I, Snapchat at NyghtRiderFTU. And in case you didn't know, your boy been nominated again for your ATL Raps Awards Producer of the Year. Y'all make sure y'all go over there and vote. Man, we trying to bring the hardware home again this year. Y'all vote Nyght Ryder Producer of the Year and also Podcast of the Year, Good Shape University. I don't know if y'all caught the show last night. Had some dope artists come through, had some dope music and all that. Everybody send your music in. We review it right there on online. So y'all make sure y'all check that out, man. Follow us on Good Shape University.
All right. Pam.
Yeah.
You know, what's your last minute thoughts?
Last minute thought. If you know someone that's needed help, go to your local pastor. Go to somebody that could actually where you could sit down and talk with. You know, I think the pastor would probably be a good place to go. You know, because their doors are always open. And where you can find me on, of course, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and all pretty much majority of the social media, but also on the ladies podcast, the Lady Bird with yours truly. And so it's women. It's basically women love sports. That's basically it.
That's what it is. The Discord is in the chat, people. I finally got it up there. Thank you.
I gotta go download Discord.
So y'all find me, find Miss Kai. We got so many women on that. Whitney, you just seen her. Miss Pam. We actually got a new lady to the house, but y'all haven't met her, so I'm not gonna say her name yet. Kiera or Miss Lyric's mom. Yeah, so we got another lady in the house of Asia. She's part of the crew, but it's one more lady that we're going to introduce, and we're still adding, we're still recruiting. So we appreciate Pam just coming in and chiming in with us on this, because this is a different side. You know, we don't want to just talk about football. That's the Discord in the chat. People join Champagne Confessions. Coach Unchained, damn, you missed it all, didn't you?
Oh Lord,
I know. We're kind of at the same time as Ty. So it's just hard to find a time that doesn't interfere with AFN. AFN is just 24/7 all the time. We just,
Eat your
and this
heart
was
out,
worth it.
ESPN.
But we are trying to build a different audience anyway. So if you just so happen to be over here, please rewatch the episode. On that note, Miss Kyle, you got your last minute conclusion?
Yeah, back to the child exploitation and whether they're in entertainment,
Mhm.
doesn't matter, guys. And I remind myself of this too, being a mother of two young athletes, and just really talk to your kids. I have the baby girl. She's an athlete, and she's 13 now, so I have to kind of learning from my oldest daughter, just know what to look for, know what to, so I just take that because I've been there before, I've done it, and so I have to make sure I'm close with her, but still give her space without smothering her. The boy, it doesn't matter. Like, think about their mental health. Talk to them. Even with that, we give them time off. I tell them, no, you ain't practicing that. You don't have to do none of that. Be a kid. Just take time out. Think of, if it's studying, just get caught up on what you need to get caught up on. Just relax, whatever it is that you want to do, that you feel like you need to do. And then, talk to them. Sometimes we'll sit, like we'll call family meetings just to check in, because we're so busy, y'all, ripping and running and everything. And so I'm usually the one now put a fork in it and say, tonight we're having a family meeting. I don't give a damn if it's 15-20 minutes, and we'll have it doesn't have to be nothing fancy, y'all. We'll have the kids come in our room just to sit for a second. Sit down for a second. Let's talk. We got a lot of stuff going on coming up. Just talk to them. See what's on their brains. See what they're thinking. Get involved with their friends. Have them to where they're comfortable, to where they can open up to you. Again, it doesn't matter if they're entertainment, even if they're not. Just period. You know what I mean? Because the entertainment industry, a professional athlete, all that fame, all that stuff.
Speaking of athlete, it's happening there too. It's like the Olympic stars that things are being exposed.
Oh man, the whole Olympic gymnastics thing, that was crazy.
In the athletic industry, you do.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. So y'all keep talking to your kids, and then encourage them too, because not all, don't be naive to where you say, oh, my kid will tell me everything. Maybe not. I won't say, but don't go and think that. But at least you can have them to be comfortable, to where if they're not, particularly comfortable with talking to you or letting you know about this particular thing, then encourage them to find somebody that they trust and who they can talk to. You know what I mean? And someone that they can just get that advice from, and then just somebody to where they're just safe. You know what I mean? As long as they're safe, and they can communicate, and they can, because they're look, y'all, they're growing up in a world to where we as adults can barely handle some of the shit that's going on. Okay, so you gotta think, and we're grown. So you have to think of, put yourself, you've been their ages before. You've been 12, you've been 13, you've been 16, whatever the age may be. Get in tune with your children. So for you parents that are out there listening, for you parents that will be out there listening, rewatching this show, I'm telling you now, I am reaching out. I'm calling out to y'all. It is not worth it. These children need their parent. You're managing your kids. Okay, you're managing them. Draw the line somewhere. Figure out, because me, I tell people, I will not be a momager. I can't. I want and this is just me, I would want my child to just have me as a mom. I can guide and make sure that, okay, whoever's on their team doing what for them, but my role, I personally would want to stay as their mom, and I will hire or do whatever, put the right people around them, because they're going to need to be able to just come to me or their father and just come to their mom or their father. But that's just me, because I don't think I would know how to draw that line like that. That's just me. So just think about these things, guys. You know what I mean? They need us.
Yeah. That's right. So we're gonna get into the last minute right here. I just put this up here right here. My mental space, Champagne Confessions. Once you join the Discord, we will also give you the link to the My Mental Space Discord. What My Mental Space Incorporated is, and something that we're getting ready to do soon, is we're getting ready to have focus groups. And I actually getting ready. I just talked to Kai about it. It's an adult focus group that I'm actually about to create, where we're going to do monthly mental health virtual sessions. Now this is in the LGBTQ plus whatever community. So it's pretty much a group of lesbians that want to talk about their mental health and things like that. So My Mental Space is we're gonna touch everybody's avenue. We don't care what kind of walk of life you are. If everybody has mental health issues, and with me actually, getting my certification as a mental and behavioral health coach, this is going to help me and Kai get out there and reach people that just need an avenue to talk and speak and, get through them some things, not, that's outside of a therapist. So sometimes people just don't want to just go to a therapist because a lot of people don't want to accept that something may be wrong. So they'll feel more comfortable, like Pam said, going to your church, going to your clergy, going to a mental health or life coach or whatever makes you comfortable. Seek that help. So, but be on the lookout for some focus groups that we're going to start implementing. Get into the Champagne Confessions Discord. We dropped the link. Reach out to us if you want to talk to me and Kai, and we're getting ready to extend it even more once we get the guys on the channel and the platform. You can not only can you talk to me and Kai, but you can talk to the gentlemen as well. They want to give you some feedback. We're going to expand this eventually, where don't feel ashamed. We are just here to listen to you. Everything that we talk about is confidential, so it'll be private chat rooms. Once you message us, we will create a private chat room where we can speak to you. It can either be me and Kai together, but talk to us. But allow us time to get back to you. So don't get discouraged. If you message us, just give us time. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to definitely get back to you. But spill it out. Spill it out. Because we will read it and we will reply. So that's what we're going to be doing soon. So My Mental Space, find us on all social media platforms. We do got the Discord. Please cash out My Mental Space. All proceeds goes towards these focus groups, making sure the ladies and gentlemen have snacks and things like that, notebooks, journals, the tools we need to make sure we reach somebody. So make sure you continue to donate to My Mental Space. Also, Champagne Confessions. If you can't remember My Mental Space, you got $ Champagne Confessions on Cash App. But that's all I got. We went a little longer, but I expected that on a topic like this. It's just kind of, so on that note, people, we're not going to hold you any longer. Everybody got to go home and eat and, all that good stuff. So have your drink, unwind. People got to go to work in the morning. But on that note, people,
see y'all. Love y'all.
Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Nyght, Ryder. Thank you, Mike.
Y'all so welcome. Anytime.
Y'all come back. Y'all come back now, you hear?
All righty, daddy.
So Regina,